Okay, we're live. This is It's EdtechNICal. I'm Nick Finelli, your host, and welcome to tonight's Chromecast. Chromebook edition.
Live.
So, what I'm going to do tonight is talk about some cool stuff that's going on or that you could do with a Chromebook. So I'm actually publishing this and doing this broadcast from the Chromebook, so I can show you some things that are specific to it. And we'll just, if you have questions or things about Chromebooks that you want me to answer, be glad to answer those in the chat window. But just wanted to do that. So we'll be doing mostly Chromebook stuff tonight. We do have tomorrow is May the 4th, so the Star Wars shirt on. So tomorrow's May the 4th, so maybe you guys have some May the 4th activities planned. It's always just a good time, especially kids are excited about Star Wars and trying to be able to use that to get them excited about things. So I have one thing I want to show you with that you may want. It's a translator that's kind of cool. All right, so let's go into some things with our Chromebooks tonight. So let me switch screens here. And okay. All right. So you can see I'm sharing with the Chromebook. It's showing that I'm sharing my screen. Thank you for the notification. All right. So it's EdtechNICal. There's our little logo and things like that. So we're going to talk about some things. But first of all, since I said it was tomorrow's May the 4th, I actually wrote my name here in Arabic, which is like the Galactic Basic. If you want to follow me, of course, you can go to @NickFinelli, or you can go to Facebook. It's a Blend Tech Learn. You can also go on his YouTube channel, just like you are now, and subscribe and get all the previous issues. And if you're interested in any classes or having me come to your location to do training on all sorts of things, whether it's Chromebooks, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Apple, whether it's Firo, whether it's Para, Google, blended learning, project-based learning, I do it all. So I'm excited to be able to help you out, especially summertime. Like I said last episode, I am going to, the summer has officially started because May I am going to be all over the place, and I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to have a short session tonight because I am headed out and going to Dallas and be there for the next couple of days. So, all right, so let's go on with our Chromebooks. Oh, I forgot. I put this in there. So now I'm also officially got the thing in from TuneIn. And so so if you have an Amazon Echo Dot, you can listen to It's EdtechNICal. And if you have, of course, any of those other smart sort of speakers, either the Apples or Googles, you can also listen via their podcast apps. So the first one I want to talk about is just screencasting. So a lot of people use screencasting. I think it's pretty, and screencast, it should be just a screen capture. You're not really casting. I mean, that's different. But screen capturing here is just pressing Control and then the extended window. And so you'll get something like this, just the window of itself. So if I were to go to a different page here and just wanted to capture this page, of course, Control and hit it, and it takes this quick snapshot, and there you go. It's actually showing my screens and actually showing my extended window. But now it's going down my notifications. I can copy the clipboard if I need it. It also puts it automatically in my drive if I need it, unless I have it situated some other way. Right, so that's pretty easy. I like to use those for just showing what's going on. So if you're doing any type of tutorials, screenshots are great to be able to frame it and then put things in there. The other thing about screenshots are for students, accountability, or maybe they're on some sort of website and they need to poll something. Remember, if you do press Control and Shift, And the same thing, you'll be able to get a little crosshatch, which basically is just this little cross, and allows you to pick a window or a region. So that's kind of a cool thing too. All right, so the next one on our list of quick little Chrome things is switching a user. So a lot of school domains do not necessarily have this set up, but it's possible that you could, especially if you have a shared environment. But if you have your own Chromebook, or if you're in a school environment where you're a teacher and the admin has allowed it, you can actually switch users without signing out. So what happens is you go down to the notifications at the bottom, and you click on your little icon, and it brings up this. And then what you can do is, if it's enabled, when you click on your name here, it'll say add other user. And so you click on that user, and then you sign in under maybe your Gmail account or something like that. So then what happens is, and I can't do it here because then we would lose the, if I signed out of this user, we would lose the broadcast. But what happens is it allows you quickly, if you're signed into both, so I'm not basically your profile will be brought over. So all your extensions are brought over, all your bookmarks and all those things will just be back and forth. So you don't have to actually sign into both on the same browser. You can just switch users, kind of like you do on a Windows or a Mac. And so you just do Control Alt and then the period, or you can actually use the comma, and that'll just go back and forth. But either one, so it allows you to basically toggle from one user to another. So imagine this user's background, then I get to this one. You can see there's at the bottom there are different different icons here. So switching user, Control Alt, and then the period. All right. And next one is this one. I don't know if many people use this, but they can press the Control and then you press the arrow key, which is up at the top. And that's usually the one, if you just press it by itself, it takes you back and forth on a web page, forward and backward. Well, if you do that here, it changes the focus, or basically highlights an area. So it toggles between your status area, your launcher, your address bar, bookmark bar, if it's visible, and web page that's open. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to press Control, and that's why I just highlighted it here. Let's see if this works. Control and the arrow. And I don't know if you noticed, but up here, it went blue. And if I do it again, now it's gone to the page. And I do it again. And if I continue doing it, it'll toggle through to all the different areas. So now it's on the launcher. You can see like there's a blue bar around it. And now it's on the notification. So it just toggles through all of those, and it switches when it says switches focus. It just where it is. So actually, by doing that, you could just click and start typing, and just a little bit easier to get to those areas. All right, so we got the switch focus. The next one is the screen resolution. So what you can do is you can change your screen resolution without going to the settings and going to display. Basically, the shortcut is Control Shift and then plus or minus. So I'm going to try that here with the display and see if we get anything different. But notice the bottom here, I showed the areas where they're different. There we go. So you can see my internal display changed, and then did it again. And then I can go back the other way. You can tell it's getting much bigger. Now I'm at 800 by 500, and then there's 640. So it definitely brought the screen resolution different size really easily. So it just depends on what device you have, if you're hooked in with something, if you want to look at it bigger or short, however. But that's just a nice little thing. And then the last one for tonight is just the press in the space bar. So a lot of people don't realize that if you just press the space bar, it scrolls to the bottom. So here I am on my page, and I'm on my bootcamp page. And if I want to see the bottom of this page, even though I'm right here, I can just press the space bar, and it scrolls down. Notice it does a whole section. And even if it's still not at the very bottom, it'll do it again. And now I'm at the next step. So it kind of does a whole page at a time. And anyway, and good thing I'm on this page. So if anybody out there wants to have a boot camp at their school, please contact me. I'll be glad to have a Google level 1 or level 2 boot camp at your school. I've been doing a bunch of these, and just it's fun, and it's quick, and it's 1 or 2 days depending on what you're getting, and you can get about 40 people and get you all ready for a one day, get you ready for taking the exam. So please contact me if you're interested in that. All right, so those are kind of those Chromebook features. I did skip over something I did want to go to earlier, and that is the accessibility features. So if you want to go to any accessibility features, of course, you can go to your settings, which is the 3 dots, and then going to settings. Well, to make it easier, I just type in Chrome://settings. And then if you do another slash and type in accessibility, it takes you straight to all the accessibility tools. There are so many of them. I'm just going to highlight some mouse features, ones that I like, because people are wondering, especially when you do videos and things like that, where you have highlights and you're like, how do you get the highlights on there? Do you have to have some special software? Well, I'm going to show you some ways you can do it on your Chromebook. So I'm going to click on Manage Accessibility Features. And of course, we have our text-to-speech. We have our displays, which allows the screen magnifier, which is a nice tool. Kind of reminds me, if you've ever used a Mac, you can kind of just focus in on wherever your mouse is and show it really close. That's a cool feature. So once that's turned on, there's actually a shortcut for that. But I'm going to go all the way down to mouse and touchpad. And so there's a couple cool things. So automatically click when the mouse cursor stops. So there's the mouse cursor. It can see it, but notice when it stops, it clicks. So I'm moving it, and it clicks. So that's nice if you have something broken, or if it's just too much to click or something, or you can set up the delay before the click, so that way it doesn't do it that long. And you can also just click. You don't have to do the delay. But if I want it even longer, now if I move it around and then stop, it clicks. So it kind of shows you in those areas. Enable tap dragging, show the large mouse. I like that. You can change the size of it here. And I think I turned this on by accident, but highlight the mouse cursor when it's moving. So notice it gets highlighted a little bit there. Let me turn off these items. There we go. And there's the mouse. So there's the highlight, and that red is showing the mouse moving. So that's a way you can kind of show what's going on. Pretty cool. And I just wanted to show you those for the, I got into touchpad. I don't like the one where it clicks, just because it clicks for me when I don't want it to. Go. All right, so we can get out of that. And so those are just some quick accessibilities with the mouse, if you want to look at those. The other thing I wanted to share with Chromebooks were flags here. I don't know if you know about flags, but if you go to Chrome://flags, you have all these experimental features that are behind the scenes of your Chromebook. Most schools block this particular URL, because what will happen is you can change a lot of stuff on here. And what I like to do is just play around with different things and try stuff out. And then if something happens, then I just reset back to the default. But some cool things in here, like touchpad 3-finger click. You can enable that, or disable it. There's also things like smart lock promotion here. So enable smart lock promotions. Promotions will be periodically displayed if the user is eligible. Show taps. So it draws a circle on each touch point, which makes touch points more obvious when projecting or mirroring. So if I disable that, then I relaunch the browser. On there, I must not have disabled it. And guess what? We got clicked off. So let's go back to our screen here. Share. So now I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So we're sharing the screen. Okay. Well, so I'm going back to the flags. So just explore these if you can. There's a lot of neat things you can enable and disable. I'm not going to reset the system now, but you can go through and search for stuff, whether it's touchscreen things. This is where you can disable touchscreens if you wanted to. If you wanted to see if there was something new that they're trying to do with, like one time I was playing around with this and I noticed that they put in a new user interface font. And this was before they had the font that they're using now, so I got to kind of see it beforehand. Tried some other things too. Anyway, it's just pretty neat to be able to see this stuff and be able to enable it or disable it based on some specific controls that you want. And it's per user here, so it's doing it for this user, not necessarily for everybody on the Chromebook. So that's kind of cool. Right here, scroll prediction predicts the finger's future position during scrolls, allows time to render. So I can enable that, and notice it showing it for all of these. So it's just for not just for the Chromebook itself. But if it says just Chrome OS, that means it's just going to be a Chromebook item. As you can see, I'm only here at the beginning. If I keep scrolling down, there are tons. Experimental keyboard lock, user interface. Block scripts loaded via document write. Enable offering uploads. Safe search URL reporting. Force user interface directions. Okay, all sorts of things. And you could do like a Control F and look for something. So if you're looking for something like touch, then it'll search all the touch events. And those are all touch screen things. There's some more touch screen. So that's just kind of a way if you want to look at it and find different things for it. All right. So those are flags. If you're interested, have some fun, play with those. That would be pretty cool. All right. So that's our little Chromebook episode. I don't know if there's anything else that guys may be interested out there. If you are, please send me some notes and I'll be glad to answer your questions. I did see on one of the forums today, somebody was asking about how to in their calendar to be able to, let's say they have a district calendar, if they shared a view only with everybody, they wanted them to also be able to copy it or export it, but it only works when it's in the My Calendar section and not viewed in another way. So that is that. So the next thing I want to show you is just this May the 4th be with you. And it's a translator tool, and it's trying to load after my earlier issue. But it's at funtranslations.com. And I'll switch my screen now that I got it. So Fun Translations, and you just do .com/Star Wars, and then you get to it, and it's pretty cool. So they have a Star Wars translator section. And so the first one is Yoda. So if you want to do Yoda speak, they have that. And now it's still loading. There we go. They also have Huttese. If you're a big Star Wars fan, Mandalorian, if you know about that. And Chunchis translator here. And so those are all on these little translators. They also have apps that do specific translators. So pretty cool things. So just try those out. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we skipped over the Gungan Jar Jar Binks translator and a Sith translator. And so whatever you put in your text here, then it'll be converted. So I am Nick Finelli. And it will, of course, translate to, as Yoda would, should say, there we go, Nick Finelli, I am. There we go. And they also have a little tweet that, and they can also, if you like what you wrote, we'll order a t-shirt for you. So last thing here on May the 4th. So tomorrow, enjoy your Star Wars Day. And now I can't even get it down there. There we go. And it's not big, but I want you to have a good Star Wars Day, and may the 4th be with you. Okay, that's it tonight. I'm off. I will see you guys next week on Monday on Facebook, Monday night. And send your questions, check out the classes, listen to the podcast if you want for back issues, anything like that. And just have a good time. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good Cinco de Mayo. And last thing, a shout out to all my Sphero buddies. Thanks for all your work and appreciate it. And follow them for Sphero. Follow them on Thursday Learn Day. It's a hashtag Thursday Learn Day, and lots of cool stuff comes out every Thursday from Sphero. I know I showed that last time, but they got a good connection there with Star Wars, and they have some good education folks. So that's it. Thank you guys.